Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode 200, and I believe this is 209. Well, this came out yesterday, and I'm going to review it right now. We are discussing the final 3 chapters of the Black Clover manga, chapters 390 to 290 to 392. Interesting we have a manga that lasts this long. I would say it's a little bit shorter than... I would say the only manga I could think of that lasts about this length, at least close to it. It's a little bit shorter than another manga I've read, which of course did have, I think it was just a few years ago, which they had a complete adaptation of the whole series, that being Shaman King. So first we have the first new chapter. First we have this one cover. The chapter is called The Promised Showdown, where we have pretty much the entire cast of Black Clover here, centered by... So, people here, Asta, Rel, Yuno, Yami's sister, Luck, Fenril, Fenice, Noel, Mimosa, pretty much everybody here, including members of the Spay Kingdom. So, 6 months after they defeated the evil Julius, so, basically for this chapter and the next chapter, it's input Asta versus Yuno, and the winner becomes the Wizard King. Because, why not? You have Yuno with his special magic, of course. Especially he's also Spade Prince. Yeah, so... And, of course, Yami's basically betting on, of course, Yuno winning. We see his sister there, just standing there, just admiring the whole thing, of course. Yami, of course, what's he doing? Drinking, of course. And having Asta's little devil on his shoulder, which is quite nice. And then we got to this... So basically, they have people watching from a distance. We even have people from the actual Undersea Temple. They make an appearance here, which is quite nice. We see Charmy eating like crazy. We see Jessica here too. And then we see Asta. Asta, he's wearing a bandage over his arm because his arm basically was converted to part devil. So, and then we have memories throughout the series of when they were basically with each other. And of course, they close their eyes. And then we have a flashback to Chapter 1 of the series. Yes, Chapter 1. Where Let's See become Wizard King. And then they fight. Yes. And, yeah, Asta knows basically Yuno's his friend. But he's taking this very seriously because he wants to be Wizard King. And they go back and forth. They basically go Warwind. Belle's here, probably here too. And then chapter ends with no ending yet. But... Then it continues on to the next chapter, a conclusion reached, where we see the captain of the Crimson Alliance, along with his sister, who in the anime is voiced by Monica Rell, and the little brother, who's voiced by Austin. And of course, I met these two. In the case of Monica, I've not had a chance to hear her sign a copy of Black Clover. I've only heard her sign maybe like 2 things. I know I had a sign. I think it was My Hero the first time, and I think the last time I saw, which was last year, I got her sign my copy of another anime, which we'll discuss soon. So I had Austin sign Black Clover against his character. He actually voiced the younger brother. So, yeah, they just blast their way. Of course, the Nero watches too, and Jack the Ripper, who is the captain of the Praying Mantis, he's here too. And they go back and forth. Everybody's witnessing this, and everybody's like watching with basically. Of course, everyone's cheering. Of course. They have like a meteor trying to crush. Boss is not done yet. Because this is catchphrase. Not done yet. They have a shield. And then of course, Asa proceeds to go around the shield by punching Yuno in the face with his demon arm. And his fist he cloaked the anti-magic. And of course, the captain of the Crimson Dawn, who was basically got curse over his face. Yeah, at first he wore a mask, and then he took it off because everyone pretty much accepted him, no problem. And then, of course, even Yuno does not done yet, and everybody sees this, Asa sees this too, and Demon Slayer. And then the fight is over because Yuno's sword is broken by Asta. So Asta is now the new Wizard King. Yep. You're like, wow. And then we jump ahead 2 years later. The final page, Beyond Not Giving Up. So, we have the pastor from this church that Yuno and Asta basically were at when they were kids. Yeah, church right here. The vied for the title of Wizard King. And so, we see various people here. Looks like we see this is here. Now, Asta's gotten over his crush on her. He got over it before the start of this last arc. So, he put that behind him. So, like, on the entrance exam, Goose basically... Now, Marie, she is worked up a little bit. And the fact that it's also put up here that Gray is dating Goosh. And Marie actually approves of this. Basically, he actually wants, basically... I think that she really wants, basically... Well, one thing, yeah, she does appreciate her brother loving her. She does appreciate that. But he gets a little bit over the top with it. Even she realizes that. But he needs a woman who's not related to him being in his life. And Gray is the most obvious choice. And you could say that probably that, well, you could say Marie is the reason why that he's with Gray. And of course she's embarrassed by this. And then we see, they also bring the fact that Charlotte and Yami are married. And of course she's embarrassed because she's not used to the fact that she's married the man she loves. And of course the other girl can marry her for some reason. Now of course, those are probably asking, who voices Charlotte in the English dub? Why that is kind of like Clickenbeard. Who, one of my personal favorite characters, she actually does know the fact this is one of my personal favorite characters she's voiced in her career. Because she is so funny of a character. And she's embarrassed by seeing her awesome husband that she's madly in love with. And then, of course, Yami's sister has no problem with basically this woman married to her brother. Because, of course, she knows the brother's going to be happy with this woman. And, of course, call her elder sister. We're still dating. Yep. Yep. And Asa waves goodbye to her. She goes back to Land Rising Sun, aka frickin' Japan. And then we see, well, so Yami has retired from being the captain of the Black Bulls. So the vice captain, who's also anti-magic user like Asta, he is taken over as the actual captain of the Black Bulls. And of course also, Jasmine, I think it's Jessica, yeah. Where she's still running around the HQ in her underwear because that's a common thing for her. Though I'm sure if they animate this scene, they probably have her in a witch's garb. Because, of course, basically, that makes more sense to her basically do that. So, of course, she's still drunk. And then, of course, Luck and Fenrir basically fighting each other. And then Zeno and of course, basically, Zora comes in, who's voiced by the awesome Johnny Allen Bosch. It's like, fight me. And, of course, then we have Henry and, the guy who, I think his name is Goosh. I think his name is the guy who's, based on Marilyn Manson, of course, playing cards, like, and then find out that Fenrir, who can use portability, and, of course, Yami first and Mrs. Wheels, he, of course, has married Fenice, which, of course, basically this would happen, and the fact he's going to become a parent. Which, of course, his younger brother, who is more arrogant than he is very happy with the fact that basically that he's going to become an uncle. I'm an uncle too. I have 3 nephews, 2 nieces. And of course, Fenrir was like, so who would guess that she'd be a parent before I was? And the person who became a parent for Fenrir was Charmy! Because she has married Ral. Because it was hinted when he first saw her, he fell madly in love with her. And it is shown that these two have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids! I'm like, seeing this, I'm like, is Rel a machine? Getting Charlie pregnant, either that or probably like, she must have had 7 kids at once. Probably, because look all at the same age. And only one's a girl, and the other, of course, are all boys. And of course, yes, I have met Charmy's voice actress. As a matter of fact, her voice actress told me this is a thank you for our Patreon. Here she is, Charmy! Charmy is awesome. And I wonder if Sarah Winehoff does know the fact her character, just like in the case of Charlotte, I wonder if the voice actors know the fact that his characters got married in the finale. I wonder if they did. So, yeah. So then we see Mimosa and Noelle here, where they wear slightly different attires. And Now you're probably thinking, did Asta end up with either of these two girls? Never confirmed. Though a lot of people probably point, I've heard rumblings that Asta got with Mimosa. Though, if I were him, I would take Noelle too, because she's obviously a thing for him for a long time. So yeah, basically, what they're competing for is rivals for Asta's love. And Soraya herself, who's also voiced by Monica Carrillo, yeah, it's kind of weird. Monica voices two characters in the show, which, fun fact, did you know these two characters actually shared a scene together in one episode of the entire anime that aired? And the episode was complete anime original, and she was in her bird form. I found that interesting, the fact that only happened once in the entire show. It never happened in the manga for some reason. And of course, she does things like Prince Lemire, who's been dead for a long time. I don't know if she still has a thing for him, but he's been dead for a long time. Now, as for does she have a thing for Asta, never confirmed she did. Nope. In the case of Mimosa and Noelle, yeah. The Scrims Lance general thing, the Praying Mantis general thing too. And then we see the Aminats looks the general thing, and of course everybody's like doing fine. I think I read somewhere that the Queen of the Heart Kingdom actually married her advisor. And then we have this wonderful scene. We have Noelle with her siblings. Yes, I've also met Noelle's voice actress, the awesome Joe Harris. I have not met Dallas Reed, though I would not be surprised when the anime comes back that I'm sure he's basically like he probably knows that the series is coming back. I'm sure he probably is telling the casting office when the course anime comes back, he probably is shooting up the chance to play Asta again, because it's probably his most popular character he's played his whole entire voicing career. For Jill, I would say Noelle herself is probably just as popular as a lot of her other characters she's voiced. I would say another popular character her people love is Fern from Freeman. And yeah, so of the people, I'll talk more about basically who I've met who is part of this anime when I finish here. So, yeah, and then we see people laying around his son, some of the witches. Yeah, by the way, Jimmy is the one voicing the mother. And then we see the Queen of the Heart Kingdom where she gets married. Actually, no, this is actually, I think this is Mars. Yeah, Mars and his childhood friend, they get married. And then we see the Queen of the Heart Kingdom, where she's like sleeping on a giant animal. We also have the Spade Kingdom. And they have Yuna coming to visit for the Spade Kingdom. So apparently he's become captain of the Crimson Dawns. And then, of course, the chapter ends with this, but we have like a few pages left. So, the magic guns begin, and before they can begin, they're under attack by this mysterious ship that pops up out of nowhere. What the heck the thing is? So Asta goes up because it's the Wizard King. And then we have someone say, "Who are you?" And Asta goes up, still having Yami's sword, says, I'm the Wizard King." And that's how the series ends. Yeah, overall, fantastic chapters. I love these ones. These are amazing. I give Black Clover chapters 390 to 392, the final 3 chapters of the manga, a 10 out of 10. My final thoughts on the manga Black Clover. So, when this series first started, I had heard rumblings about the series being a Naruto ripoff. And of course, also the fact that I heard mix of elements of Bleach in this particular one. It's a fantasy setting. I mean, the biggest difference between Black Clover and Naruto is that Black Clover is all about magic, while in the case of Naruto, it's all about ninjas. Now, some people I think it's also like Naruto. The answer is no, not really. Asta is nothing like Naruto. Yes, Yuno's obviously a take on Sasuke a bit, but at least it's turned to dark, so like Sasuke did. And Noelle is not Sakura. because Noelle has had thing for Asta since it built, of course, the series, but I think that basically by the end of this, it's that they're competing for each other. Though I did hear a rumor that they didn't show it here, but it seemed like Asta ended up with Mimosa. Mimosa, of course, I've heard she's described as a clone of Hinata, but the biggest difference between two of them is the fact that, well, different hair color and different powers. Completely different powers. Also, Naruto can use the same abilities as the other ninjas. Asta uses anti-magic. So, who have I met who's part of this, who's part of the anime? Yami, obviously, I met Saba years ago. Charlotte. The younger brother of the Catholic Crimson Alliance. Of course, Molly Curiel, who voices two of the characters of the show. Joe Harris. Todd Heppercorn, who voices a character appearing just... Well, he only appeared in technically one episode of the show, but he did appear one canon, one filler. So I have met him. Charmy, of course, obviously. So that's 7. I'm trying to think who else I met part of the show. Fenrir, I've met him. The one who's the... I think... Oh, yeah, Justin Brennan, he voices Luck. So that's 9. Sonny Surratt, of course, he's voiced the king, who's actually not in the last chapters. It's never confirmed what happened to him. None. I know that his great niece ended up marrying Fenrir, which was nice, and in fact, became a parent. That was really cool. Now, how did I get into Black Clover, you might ask? This was something that was kind of recommended to me by my friend Edgar. He recommended me this one, and I haven't looked back. He has recommended me several anime that I personally love. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Fairy Tail. He basically recommended I watch these. And he was right. I would definitely enjoy them. Of course, during the first year I was reviewing anime, I went through a lot of the big ones. A lot of the big name ones in just a span of like a year. Like I went through Naruto Shippuden, Bleach, One Piece, Fairy Tail, Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, all in the span of 1 year. This is before I got my current job here. But on the case of Black Clover, I got this one, I think it was in 2018, which is around the same time I got into Black Butler, which, no confirmation when that's going to do with annotation next arc, but Black Clover has come back in the month of October. So, unless I get a chance to watch Black Clover movie, this might be the last video to review anything Black Clover related for quite a while. Okay, so that's pretty much the episode of the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. Next up is a review for The Great Cleric. Okay, next video. Bye. I have got to go pee. Come on. Stop. Come on, stop.